Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel. It's Amiibo here, and today we are talking about the pre-order madness regarding Switch 2. We have official confirmation of when Best Buy pre-orders will be going up. We now know the exact time, so we'll talk about that. They also put up a bunch of bundles with other games and accessories on their website. We'll take a look at those and talk about our options when it comes to pre-ordering this thing on Wednesday nights or early Thursday morning, I guess, if you're on the East Coast. But also, let's talk about this whole Amiibo pricing situation, because the prices of Amiibo have gone up due to the tariffs because they are manufactured in China, and a Street Fighter Amiibo costs $40, which is just absolutely insane. So that is what we are talking about in today's video. If you are new here and you enjoy Nintendo Switch 2 collecting content, I would appreciate you subscribing. Let's get into it. Alrighty folks, welcome back to the channel. Wanted to do an update on the whole pre-order situation because when I made my guide on a Sunday, we did not actually really have confirmed times for Best Buy. However, that is not the case anymore. As you can see on the official Best Buy website here in the US, pre-orders begin Thursday, April 24th at midnight Eastern, which is 9 p.m. Pacific. That should be 11 p.m. Central Time, I believe. I'll put up that chart again of all the different time zones. So it is going up at the exact same time as Walmart and as Target, which means that 3 retailers are going live at the same time. That is going to be an absolute mess. We'll see how that goes. I mean, honestly, all 3 of them going live at the same time should hopefully help the websites not implode on each other, because people will be checking all 3 different websites at once instead of just funneling through to one. So that is when they're going up. Wednesday nights, or really Thursday morning, I guess, kind of, but really Wednesday nights, you will be able to pre-order this thing on Best Buy's websites. This is where I'm personally hoping to pre-order the console, because there's a really convenient Best Buy near me, and they do in-store pickup on the website. You can buy it and do in-store pickup online. I think you can also do that at GameStop, but Best Buy, I've just had good experience with in the past. Ideally, I get a pre-order here. Best Buy also added a bunch of custom bundles, so these are not like official Nintendo bundles, you know, where Donkey Kong Bonanza here is going to come with your Switch on day one. This is something that GameStop almost always does. I remember this is how I got my PS4 back in the day, where essentially, because there is such a low stock and they know it is a high demand product, they will bundle it with other stuff to get you to spend more at this Best Buy, or, you know, to buy something that you don't even want, as we'll see with some of these bundles. So it's obviously very scummy. They're literally taking stock away to make these bundles, but it gets people to spend more money at a specific retailer, even if it's something you're planning on buying. In the case of this Donkey Kong Bonanza bundle, I think a lot of people would buy the Switch 2 here maybe and then get Donkey Kong somewhere else. So they have this bundle here that comes with Mario Kart World digitally as well as DK Bonanza for $570. As you'll notice with all of these bundles, there is no discount. This is just the MSRP. It kind of just makes checkout a little bit easier. So you are literally just paying the regular price of everything, but then you're also only having to click one time. So if you're planning on already picking up a lot of stuff, this will actually save you some time on pre-order nights. You won't have to add a bunch of different things to your cart. You can just add whichever bundle of items that you want. Now, I did have some questions about this in my comments on another video. People were wondering, well, if I'm pre-ordering this Donkey Kong Bonanza bundle, does that mean it won't ship until July 17th? No. The way Best Buy works is this is a package, so it is technically 2 separate items, as you can see here. So it would ship, or you could pick up the Switch 2 by itself, and then in July you could do Donkey Kong. I think you'd even like choose in-store pickup for the Switch 2 and then have Donkey Kong shipped if you wanted to do that. So you won't be waiting until July 17th if you pick up this bundle here. They do also have just a regular Switch without digital Mario Kart World bundle with a physical copy of Mario Kart World for $530. So you're not getting that $50 discount this way. You are literally just paying the same amount. This is a weird bundle. As a collector, it's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a physical copy of Mario Kart, but like, how many people are really willing to spend an extra $30 just to have the physical cartridge? Feels like a weird bundle to have for sure. But I will say, if you're worried about getting a pre-order, I think these bundles are actually kind of a good thing, because less people will be funneling in to buy just a really expensive bundle, right? Even though a lot of us will likely pick up a Pro Controller, there will be less people that are eager on midnight, you know, pre-ordering, you know, a month in advance. There'll be less people that are wanting to lock in a Pro Controller, for example. So here's another bundle for $435. We have the Switch 2 and the Pro Controller, not the Mario Kart bundle. So be careful of that if you're going for one of these bundles. Make sure you're getting the Mario Kart one, if that is what you want, but I imagine most people want that. This is a pretty enticing one. I'd imagine more people would go for this overall compared to some of these other bundles. There are some really silly ones, though. There's that Mario Kart bundle again. This one's interesting. So this is one that I think people wouldn't really go for. So if you're trying to secure a pre-order online, launch night and you are planning on buying these accessories, then honestly, this might be a good route because I doubt as many people will go for it. So we have this Switch 2 bundle. It is the Mario Kart World digital code bundle, but it also includes the Joy-Con wheel sets, the camera, and an extra pair of Joy-Cons. Now, the wheel set, I don't think anybody really cares about. The camera, I think a lot of people will go for, and in fact, I actually imagine the camera will probably sell out. It depends on how many they have, obviously. But the extra Joy-Con set, how many people are really picking up an extra pair of Joy-Con on launch day? A lot of people will get the Pro Controller, and I'm sure some people will get the Joy-Con, but I can't imagine that many people are willing to spend an extra $100 when they're already buying this console and these other things on top of the games, right? So this might be a pretty attractive bundle if you are planning on picking up an extra pair of Joy-Con, or if you don't mind having an extra pair, because I don't think as many people would go for this. And the same can definitely be said for this bundle. I will be honest, this is the one I'm kind of eyeing now as my go-to on launch night, because I can't imagine that many people are willing to pay this much for what is included. So it's the retail price of everything, obviously, as we established, but you get the Mario Kart Switch 2 bundle alongside both Zelda games on cartridge. So Breath of the Wild, $70, Tears of the Kingdom's $80, but also Donkey Kong Bonanza. It's a very weird bundle, so I imagine a lot of people will be turned off by it, especially when you look at that price tag. That is an insane price tag for a bundle. Most people are not going to buy these games physically. I can't imagine, at least not at launch, because a lot of the people that are buying a Switch 2 on launch day and are pre-ordering it already own them on Switch 1, and they'll just play the Switch 2 versions through the upgrade that is included with NSO plus the expansion pack, or frankly, they might not care about them at all. I was planning on picking them up because I want to do a big old unboxing of all the launch games and everything. Also, I'm a Zelda fan, so I want to have a physical copy, but I can't imagine that many people are going to want to double dip for full price on these Zelda games. So this, even though it is a very expensive bundle, this might be the one I go for, personally. There are some other ones here. Here is a Switch with a physical copy of Mario Kart World and the Switch 2 camera. That one's a little interesting there. That one's $585. Then we have this one, the Street Fighter bundle, with the base Switch, no Mario Kart included, Street Fighter 6 game key card, keep that in mind, as well as the Luke amiibo for $550. We'll come back to the amiibo in just a second. The amiibo prices have gotten out of control. completely out of control. Then we have this one. This is a pretty basic one for $525, so $25 more. You get the Mario Kart bundle, but also the Joy-Con wheel sets. I posted a video from the Nintendo Today app. I'll put it up in the video here. I have never really liked using gyro controls. Even when I was a kid playing on Mario Kart Wii, I never used the Wii wheel. However, I'm actually going to buy these and do an unboxing and do a comparison video, because looking at like the build quality in that video of the new Switch 2 Joy-Con wheels, they actually look pretty comfortable. Like, they look pretty well made. There's actually magnets so the Joy-Con connect that way. It wasn't an accessory I really had my eyes on other than just like as like a joke, but honestly, it looks pretty high quality. I can't imagine that many people really want the Joy-Con wheel set though, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there'll be a lot of families buying them. That is why there's two there, I would imagine. We also have this one. This is interesting. In fact, I hadn't even seen this until just now. There is a Switch 2 bundle with the camera, an extra pair of Joy-Con, and Mario Party Jamboree. Once again, you will get all of the other stuff on launch day, and then Jamboree plus Jamboree TV would be coming in July 24th, I believe, is when that game comes out for $680. So that's another kind of unattractive one, I would say, because most people won't want to spend $80 on Mario Party right now. So yeah, if you're planning on trying to secure a pre-order through Best Buy, I would say one of these bundles is the way to go. Less people inherently will try to get them because, well, you have to buy extra BS that maybe you don't necessarily care about, but maybe you do, right? Maybe you were planning on picking up these Zelda games, or maybe you did want to get the Switch 2 camera alongside a physical copy of Mario Kart World specifically. Look for the right bundle. There might be more that pop up over the coming days, because like I said, I hadn't even seen this Mario Party bundle, so maybe there will be more that come up before pre-orders go live. But yeah, take a look at these. If you search the Switch 2 bundle on Best Buy's website here in the US, you can find them. I'm not sure if these are available in Canada. I apologize to any Canadian viewers, but just some options here for those that are planning on buying a lot, because the high price tag might turn some people off. It might be a little bit easier to secure one of these. I would also expect that GameStop will likely do the same thing. Like I said, that's how I got my PS4 back in the day. I didn't even know Best Buy did this, to be honest. This is something that, like, GameStop is known for their aggressive bundling. I remember they went crazy with the NES Classic Edition in 2016, where they were bundling like really crappy third-party controllers and stuff. So at least this stuff is official, right? And the only third-party bundle here is the Street Fighter one, which is also a game I want to pick up, and also that amiibo. So let's talk about these amiibo, because Good lord, what is happening? Okay, so there are 7 new amiibo releasing on June 5th. We have 4 new Tears of the Kingdom amiibo, as well as 3 Street Fighter amiibo. There's also a pack of Street Fighter cards. Those have not gone up yet. We do not know how much those are going to retail for. But on April 2nd, when they announced all this stuff, the Zelda amiibo were 20, which is kind of expected. That's how much the Ganondorf Tears of the Kingdom amiibo was. With inflation and everything, it's just the way things have gone. Amiibo costing 20. It really isn't the most surprising thing, and for me, amiibo are pretty high quality still, so 20 bucks, already kind of pushing it, to be honest. That's what we were expecting for the new champions that are coming out. The Street Fighter 6 amiibo from Capcom were retailing for $30. That is insane. Now, to be fair, they showed these off on the Treehouse. They are bigger. So if you remember back when the Zelda Loftwing amiibo came out in 2021, that was also like a little bit bigger technically because of the Loftwing. That one retailed for 25. So 30 bucks for the Street Fighter amiibo. That's definitely too overpriced. I was at Target earlier today, and the really high quality, like, articulated SH figure arts of anime characters that you see all the time, like Goku, or I saw a Tanjiro one, those are 35 bucks. So for an amiibo to cost 30, that was already really pushing it. However, unfortunately, amiibo are produced in China, and there is a massive tariff put in place on Chinese imports, 145%. So they were already 30 bucks for the Street Fighter ones, 20 for the Zelda ones. However, now, as you can see, they have all received a price increase. What's interesting is this did not come up on Nintendo's little press release they did going over the accessory price increases. No, this just popped up one day, I think on Walmart, and then a couple days later, it popped up on GameStop or some order of these things, and now they've updated, I think, on pretty much every retailer. So at first I was like, oh, maybe this is an error. No, Street Fighter amiibo are $40. It's such a bad situation because on the one hand, yeah, I'm sure Nintendo and Capcom are still making tons and tons of money off of this, even with the tariffs that have been put in place. But on the other hand, it's like, well, to be honest, and this is me playing total devil's advocate, but if I had to choose between amiibo and accessories going up, which is what is happening, versus the price of the actual console going up and the games, Mario Kart World being 80 aside, I know, I get it. If I had to choose between the amiibo and accessories versus the actual console, I am much happier having the amiibo cost outrageous amounts of money, and hopefully that console price is never touched. If they're just trying to offset the losses, we'll say, from the tariffs on the console by making these amiibo more expensive and the accessories more expensive by $5 in the case of like the Pro Controller and the Joy-Con, it sucks, but this is already really niche. It's for hardcore Street Fighter fans or hardcore amiibo collectors, Zelda fans, whatever. I'd rather this than the console itself goes up, if that is the alternative, which I imagine it probably was when they were deciding all of this on the fly internally after those tariffs were announced. So, yeah, $40 $40 Street Fighter amiibo. They are bigger, so that's nice. But we do have Luke, Kimberly, and Jamie here. $30, like I said, was already pushing it. $40, I mean, I think they severely priced out a lot of people. I'm seeing a lot of comments about Mario Kart World being 80, like that's pricing a lot of people out. I don't really think so, to be honest. I'm sure there are some people that won't buy it because of that, but even in that case, it is available in the bundle for 50 bucks. $40 for an amiibo, you are absolutely losing a lot of people that were going to buy these things. Even me, even someone like me, I am a die-hard amiibo collector Nintendo fan. Am I going to end up buying these? Probably. But even for me, as someone who buys most of this stuff without even really thinking, I'm like, oh man, do I really want to buy these Street Fighter 6 amiibo? They look cool, but $40, I mean, that guy said that's more than like a nice, well-articulated statue or like little minifigure that you can buy at Target or like at a Hot Topic or whatever. And even those like aren't the greatest, but like $40? Are we serious right now? So those are the 3 Street Fighter amiibo, Luke, Kimberly, and Jamie. We also do have the Zelda series amiibo, which went up to 30 bucks, and these are just regular size. So they are high quality, right? Don't get me wrong. The Tears of the Kingdom amiibo are higher quality than most others. That's why Ganondorf was 20 bucks to begin with, because he is a better amiibo. So we have Yunobo here. He looks pretty good. Like that's a good looking Yunobo. 30 bucks, side on. Looking at that image here, his face looks a little weird. I'm not sure if he's the highest quality. We also have, of course, Riju. She looks pretty good here, as well as, well, it should be the little bird dude. There he is. Tulin. I couldn't remember his name. He's just a little bird. 30 bucks. Pay up. You'll like it. Trust me. So yeah, I mean, the amiibo price increases. I would say this is the most egregious thing, but also like most people don't even collect amiibo. So understandably, there's just less outrage about this online. But I would say $40 for the Street Fighter, $30 for the Zelda amiibo. That is worse than anything else that has happened with the accessories, with the game pricing. I mean, amiibo were $13 in 2014, and yes, inflation has, of course, made that go up, but it's only made it go up to like 20 bucks, right? Which is still a lot, but that's about the ceiling there. We're seeing that price tripled right before our eyes out of nowhere, and I mean, it's absolutely nuts. That being said, I'm definitely buying these Zelda ones at the very least. I might pass on the Street Fighter ones, but yeah, I imagine a lot of people are not going to be buying these because of the price increase. There is a bundle though. If you want to have a one-click add to your cart on pre-order night, they do have this bundle of all four Zelda amiibo together for $120. So if you want to get all three Street Fighter amiibo and all four Zelda Tears of the Kingdom amiibo, that is $240 before tax for 7 amiibo. 7 amiibo used to be under $100 back in my day, back in the glory days of amiibo hunting, and that's not even counting tax, obviously, but also the amiibo cards for Street Fighter, which we don't know about. So, point is, if you are planning on buying a lot of stuff on launch day, it is going to be a very expensive day. Maybe make some plans accordingly. And even for me, dude, $40 for this freaking Street Fighter amiibo. I mean, they're really cool. I want my boy Luke in figure form and amiibo form, but like, that's insane. So that is going to do it for this video. I just wanted to do an update on all of the pre-order stuff going on with Best Buy and these bundles, the timing, all that, and then talk about the amiibo pricing. I didn't want to do a whole dedicated video. I figured I would just include it here. So let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. Of course, subscribe here for more Nintendo collecting content. Follow me on Twitter at BotoxGames. Check out my other Nintendo news channel at BotoxGames. And you can click on one of these 2 videos to listen to me ramble about even more Nintendo collecting nonsense. Until next time, folks. Peace.